this little sound check. Linda Ridge, I can see you. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, very good. Okay, hi guys. Hello, welcome. If you're new tonight, let me just tell you that the bathrooms are underneath the deck through those sliding glass doors to the left. So if you need to know that, now you know. And can we just do a little reminder on our phones? Let's double check. Let me double check my phone is off. It is off. If we can just do a double check of that, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. And a couple announcements. First, mom. So the mom is the Moms of Battlefield. So all you ladies, so we follow the same schedule as Solution Group. So this is Solution Group. We have Solution Group on the first and the third Tuesday of every month. And then on the first and the third Wednesday of every month, after Solution Group, we have the mom. It's a 1 hour coffee date that us ladies get together on Zoom and come together. We talk about the topic from the night before, get to know each other more. Well, quarterly, we actually meet in person. And tomorrow happens to be that day. So it's not on Zoom, it's in person. And it's at our house in Auburn. It's from 11 to 2. And we hope all you ladies enjoy. It'll be a good time. So if you need the address, you can shoot me a text. Get the address if you don't already have it. Bring something you love to eat and share. And we're gonna have a good time. So super excited about that. And now if you like, Serena, darn it, some people start JOBs, they're not able to make it. So I'm gonna get the date for December out as soon as possible. Typically, we follow the first Wednesday of the month.
Hey, you don't want to do that. You're gonna get.
No, okay. Thank you. So
Trevor, you should have known. You didn't tell her.
Paris.
Yeah.
So January, March, and June, September were like the first Wednesday of the month. I like it being the first Wednesday so it can become predictable for you all to pre-plan. But for December, I'm kind of thinking it'd be really fun to maybe push it a week closer to Christmas and make it a real Christmas theme. So I'm figuring that out with the schedule. So I will let you all know just as soon as possible. So you can pre-plan your jobs around that and join us. It's just a really good time. So y'all want to be there in person because then we meet each other in person. A lot of times for the first time, so the moms meeting each other. So hopefully y'all come out. Next is the auction. So first of all, we have lots of posters here tonight. So we can really use all you guys' help getting posters out there. Allie will get the door way out to hand you as many as you need. We've got this extra large size. As many of these as we can get on storefronts, the better. And we have the tools that you need. So you come prepared so you don't go to the front counter and ask them if they have to take. You don't want to do that. You want to bring your classy little dots. Put them on the window. You want to be prepared. And then I have these little packs too with some bulletin boards, community boards, all that kind of stuff. If you can help us out, that'd be great. The more of the big size we can get out, the better because people see more of these from afar. And also the cool thing about these is people just notice basketball. So just, it's just a cool thing to get out there. But we also have the smaller sizes for smaller windows or storefronts or whatever. So we've got the 8x10s and the smaller size as well, like maybe coffee shops, whatever. So you all can take as many. If you're going to get them out in the community, don't be shy. Take the time. We've got plenty. We can order more if we want to. But we want to get as many of these out in the community as we possibly can. And then Rachel gonna share. Hello. Rachel's gonna share next on what we need for the auction.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm co-leading the donations team for the auction with Erica. So like she was saying, we have the posters up front in small, medium, and large. So in addition to just getting the word out and putting posters up, we also are asking for anybody or any organization or retail or company, whenever we're requesting donations, these forms that are the carbon copy. So we're asking for the back page to go to the donor, and then the top two come back to us. I'm going to leave my cards here if anybody needs it, or Angie can pass out my number. Please just let Erica or I know if you are able to receive any donations. And I'll leave this with Allie.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's also the info sheet. So if anybody wants to go out into the community and retail spaces or local businesses or any organization that to maybe be charitable, country club, golf courses, any of that. There's a letter explaining a little bit about Battlefield. And it's Dear Community Supporter. So it's kind of it's aimed towards that audience. And then here's another Take Back Your Family, it's kind of got some events and all of that on the back. And then again, we're keeping track of who all is donating. We have a spreadsheet we're updating and we're sending out emails as well. So if you have any ideas, please feel free to shoot me a text or an email so that I can add that to our spreadsheet. We're kind of just trying to keep track so we don't double tap organizations, get on people's nerves and all that good stuff. So, and then I think we're meeting tomorrow.
We're meeting tomorrow night, and what I really appreciate about Rachel and Erica heading this team up is that most important thing for this auction is that we have items. So when she says donation, what she's meaning is items. So we need products, we need services, we need experiences. So we have a silent auction time during our auction. So we have all these baskets full of all kinds of cool items, and then we have our live auction during the event. And those are the big ticket items. Those are the trips and those are the really valuable things. And so you all are our people, like you all are why we have to, or why we've been able to do an event like this every year. Because imagine if each person were to just get like 3 to 5 items, that would carry us. And so we're looking for valuable things. Who do you know? Who can you ask? So that's what we mean when we say donation. We used to call it procurement form. We've changed the terminology this year to donation, but it can kind of be confusing because a donation you might think of like money. And we're looking for that sponsorship. We're looking for sponsorship and we're looking for money too, but 2 different things that we're looking for. And so Erica and Rachel are heading up the procurement / donation. See, I'm already hitting a hang up because I'm like, they're gonna be confused. Yeah, but still, that's why we use that word. Anyways, we're learning as we go here and trying to fine tune things and make this work. But we really appreciate y'all out there already spreading the word. The faster that we can gain these items and get the word out and get gift cards from restaurants. And we're looking for anything that you would want to bid on. Awesome things. And so what businesses do you frequent? The quicker we technically have till, what was it, October 10th? But I don't want anybody even thinking October, because that feels so far away, but look at how fast, like, it's already September, like, can you even believe it? So it's gonna be here so quick, so if we can just focus on September, if we can just go, we have the month of September to capture all of our items, if we could just focus and just get out there and start now, because a lot of companies too, the manager's not there, the right person's not there, and then it takes time to get it, and all that kind of stuff, so if we could just focus right now, if y'all can help us out. By really getting out there and spreading the word. If you need electronic PDF documents and things like that, I can get you everything. Oh, did I not already say? And I might have went to your junk mail, or maybe I did add to you, Susan. And so I will. I gotta remember. I did that to you. If you need the electronic PDFs, let me know and I'll shoot that to you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Clear as mud. Clear as mud. So basically, here's what we need. We need items donated. We need sponsorships as well. So what organizations do you know that you can reach out and sponsorships? We've got the forms for that. We've got levels all the way up to $15,000 for sponsorships. And then we need y'all to buy a table. So each family, just buy your table now. Just get your table and fill it up. Okay, so just trust it. Just buy the table now, get it bought, and then you're gonna fill it up between now and November 15th, which is the event. So we'll worry about
Good
filling that.
food, there's
Good
booze.
Good fun. There is.
There's booze.
There is.
We serve booze at the battlefield auction.
Sign up sheet. That sign up sheet is going around. Did it make its way? I just saw it. Did it make it? It's going. We appreciate you signing that. What that is, I promise you, your information doesn't go anywhere. It's just sticks with me and Becky. That's important because for grant writing and things, we have to start prove, we have to prove, we've been doing solution groups and workshops and consultations all these years for 11 years now. Well, when we fill out paperwork for grant, we need something showing. And so that's helping us build our database saying, yeah, this many people were here tonight. And this is service we provide. So we appreciate you taking the time to just put your name on there. That would be great. Awesome. All right. Oh, and we just want to say thank you for joining us tonight for Gary Jones' 85th birthday. Having this party for you.
Gary, Gary, how old are you? Yeah, I mean, how old are you?
Thank you. Quick question. The sponsors, can they contact you guys?
Yes, yeah, and on that, on everything, my number's on here. The QR code is on here for the tech people. However, they can contact us, we'll take it from there. So absolutely, well, contact me. They can do it online, they don't even have to talk to somebody, if they're that kind of person, or they can call me and I can report. So yes, well, we have all the above options. So yes.
You know, we have Andrea Suarez here tonight. And
It was
dude, I'm probably just so you guys know, we got a real legend here right now, a real person that's out there in our community making a difference every day. Look up We Heart Seattle on Facebook. Connect with Andrea, Facebook Messenger her or friend request her, please volunteer. But please look at Andrea, stand up for a second. Wave to everyone. Please look into the work that she's doing and that We Heart's doing, because she's on Jason Rants every afternoon. She's on the Ari Hoffman show. She's on the news. Just kind of look at the work that she's doing, because she's moving the dial. She's making it better for everybody in this room and everybody that's in our state. So please friend request her and make sure you're in her network and make sure that she can contact you. And anytime you want to volunteer, please do. So please, it's not. And more importantly, she's one of my best friends and I love her. So yeah, and the MC of the auction. So she's looking for any weight loss tips, she said today. She doesn't want to, she wants to be slim at the auction, she's saying. Well, all of us, right? And this here is Dr. Mercy. And Dr. Mercy is a new friend of mine, but we've heard tremendous things about her program. She's got a program that takes people off the streets. It's got 10 houses running. They're doing wraparound services. They're doing it for free for a lot of folks. And she's really done a lot in the last 2 years and built up this program. So we have kind of seen how we're going to work together, but she's here too. So please recognize her. Anyways, you kids in the program, you get choked up too in your life when you start feeling again. I haven't, a long time ago when I first got into this, I believed that there was correlations between specific behaviors and not using drugs. I always thought that there was something that I could do to not use drugs, because I went to meetings and I was indoctrinated and they told me that if I went to a meeting every day, I wouldn't use drugs. But as I went to meetings every day, I looked around and people would come to a meeting every day. And then one day that guy would go use drugs. So that behavior kind of fell off. And I went, well, there's people who go to meetings every day and then use drugs. And they said, if you work the steps, you won't use drugs. And I was like, okay. And I saw people work the steps and they use drugs. And they said, if you find Jesus Christ, you will no longer use drugs. And I saw people one by one get baptized, find Jesus Christ, and then go use drugs. So I've seen every type of behavior, and then people use drugs after that behavior. So, and what happened was, I went to a nutritionist back in the day. It was called P3 in Puyallup, started getting sober. And, okay, now I'm going to get healthy, and I've quit drugs, so I can quit anything now. I'm pretty good at quitting shit. I know how to not do shit. I know, So then I went to P3 and, they started working with my diet. And the counselor at P3, the lady I was working with named Michelle, she asked me a question. She says, why don't you use, because I was eating poorly and I'd come back and failed. And she goes, well, did you stick to your meal plan? And I went, no, not even close. It was not, I failed miserably. And then she go, well, why don't you do what you did to quit drugs with food? And I went, well, food doesn't make me homeless. Right? Food didn't cause homelessness. Food didn't cause me to lose all my friends. Food didn't cause my health to decline. Food didn't cause my father to sit and say, if you eat one more pizza, we're done forever. Drugs did that. You see? Anyways, I say that to say there's a reason, but there is something to this connection thing. And there is something to behaviors that do correlate with people that no longer use drugs. So there is some conducive behaviors that I see that would aid or at least be similar to the people that haven't used drugs all have these behaviors in common. For instance, people that don't use drugs anymore have the commonality of responsibility. We begin to take responsibility for our lives. That's one common theme that I see. And the other common theme that I see is that people become more aware of themselves. People that stay sober over a period of time become more aware of themselves. Okay. And I say that to say, and then the third kind of thing is that people that are sober and aware of themselves and become more responsibility also then start getting along with folks. You know, we start actually learning to get our shit together and get along. You know, after 15 years of this thing, I don't got it together. And there's a reason I don't got it together. And, you know, one of the things we're studying here, and I hope the kids are loving it. And, you know, so like we have people and we come to this room and then what do we talk about? Well, we talk about getting along. We're talking here about connection. That's why it's open for all. It's not about not using drugs. It's about how we come together and begin to get along. How do we get along? You know, how do we get along with the people we love? That's what's happening here. We have families and people coming here and they're asking me over and over through all types of coaching and all sorts of things. They're saying, how do I get along with the people that I say I love? How do I love the people that I say I love? Basically is the question. How do we not scratch each other's eyes out? How do we not hate each other? How do we not fight all the time? How do we get along as a family? Well, here, what we're doing is we're studying something. We're studying something called internal family systems. And that's just a reference. I'm just telling you what we work on here in the book that we do. And it's not too attractive a term, but internal family systems basically is just this. It's that we never had a chance. You see, I never had a chance to get along with anyone because I was never aware of what was going on inside me. Okay, do you know that as a human being, we're not just one thing here? You know, like simultaneously, there's parts of me, and simultaneously, I can tell you the truth. There's a part of me that's really proud of what I've done in my life. And there's another part of me that's constantly disappointed in me. You know, do all you kind of understand that? How we have these things inside of ourselves, you know, like I likened it to the kids the other day. I said, you know, we're trying to get along in relationships with other people, but it's like in here, we've got all these relationships. We've got all these different voices. We've got critical voices. We've got hard voices. We got voices that love other people. We got voices that hate other people. We got voices that judge people. We've kind of got a whole family in here. And that's what internal family systems means. It means we've got a whole kind of committee here that's running us. We've got parts of ourselves that's running us. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like being in a relationship and you're the CEO of a company and you're going to merge with another company and their CEO. But rather than be the CEO of your company, the employees are just yelling out the window at each other. Now, I really need you to grasp this. This is what happens when human beings are relating to each other through the parts of themselves, but not from who they are. So when these two sisters fight, or when families fight, the reason you fight is because you're fighting from parts of yourself. You know, as a parent, we have a critic. I got to caution myself because as I grow up, inside of me is a real critic of me. I think I got it from my dad. You know, a part of me that's never happy with me, a part of me that when I'm sitting and watching football on Sunday says, why don't you get up and do something? Why are you so lazy? You can't just sit here all day and watch football. And then another part of me comes in and says, you got to let him off the hook, man. He's okay. I think that's my mom. You see what I'm saying? So I have these parts of me, and then I have these parts of me that are critical. Now imagine if that critical part of me deals with my son. How do you think I'm going to treat him? Do you think he's ever going to be enough? Or do you think he's going to get a real healthy dose of that critical part of me that I'm allowing to relate to my son? You see, that's just a part of me. And so I have all these parts of me and my wife has all these parts of her. And what if there's no leadership there? What if there's nobody running this panel? What if nobody's running this company here, the company of me? You see? So what internal family systems is trying to teach us is that we have to identify, when you go to a poker game, what you do is you go to a poker table, and if you sit down and you look around at a poker game and you can't find the sucker, you know what that means? It means you're the sucker. That's what it means. You walk into the poker game, you look around, you say, who's the sucker? Oh shit, I can't find him. I should leave. Okay, but if I can sit down on a poker table and go, he's a sucker, and he's a sucker, and he's a sucker, I'm gonna stay. Okay, now. Here it is. You have all these parts of you. Do you know them? Are you aware of them? Are you aware of the parts of you? And are you aware that they are acting on your behalf? So if you can't, now this is for I'm watching people interact through their parts, but anyways, I want you to know that if you can't spot the part of you that's currently operating, you've become the part of you. Nehemiah, what does that mean?
That's the question I want to.
Sit up, Nehemiah, please. Sit up, Nehemiah, please.
I'm sitting up as far as I can.
Okay. Can you explain it? What does it mean if you can't spot the part of you that's currently acting? Where have you went? Somewhere else, not present. And what do you have to do to make sure the parts of you don't act on your behalf? That's what you get for not sitting up. Now listen. We are asking. I'm asking of all of you. I'm asking of everyone to actually, I did a mindfulness training for years and years and years. And in mindfulness training, what they say is pay attention. They say, pay attention to the current moment. Pay attention to what's happening in this moment. Pay attention to what's happening in here. But with mindfulness, they never really distinguish paying attention to what. With what we're trying to teach these kids here, and with what we're learning here, is we're paying attention to the parts of us that are currently operating. You see? So we begin to look and say, what part, and we begin to identify the different parts of us in our body, the different parts of us that are talking to us. It's not you that's talking. No. Does everyone know that? Like, you got a voice in your head, right? Is it you? No. Who is it?
All those parts.
One of all those parts. Okay. Now, are you thinking? You thinking? Okay, make it stop. I want everyone to know that you're not thinking. There's first. People say, I think. Make it stop. See, the first thing we need to come to the conclusion as we're all sitting here is that we don't think. Thinking happens to us. You need to get the position right, first of all. We're sitting in this room and thinking is happening to all of us, and we're not doing any of it. It's involuntary. And that thinking is coming from some part of ourselves, right? Now, find the thinking that loves right now. Find love. Where is it? So what we're trying to do and what we're saying to get along is, how the hell can we get along with each other when we don't even know ourselves? How can we get along when you don't even know the parts of you that are dealing with the other person? You have no clue. You see, you know what part of me is operating right now? The part that wants you to get it. Why does it want you to get it? because it wants the credit. Now listen, you two sisters over there, you can't get along. You don't know shit about yourself. You don't know the first goddamn thing about one part of you. You don't know way to look at each other. You don't know way to talk to each other. You don't know what pisses you the other person off. You don't know how to piss the other person off. Well, you do know that. And you're not even looking. You see, I'm a lot. I'm a lot. And I don't got it together. And I got a lot of parts of me, and they come out. You see, when I don't watch the parts of me, you know what they do? They take me over. And when they take me over, I'm not nice to my wife. Today's a bad day for me with my parts. I've had a rough one, and very rarely do I have a tough day. But my shit isn't together because you know why? People say keep your shit together. What do they mean? They mean you're not keeping your shit together because your parts are coming out and acting on your behalf. That's what it means. So what it means to keep our shit together is to identify what part in us is acting up. You know, they say emotional regulation. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's not the emotion that's the problem. Everyone can have the emotion. What does it mean to regulate it? It means that a part of you doesn't come out and express that emotion and hurt somebody. It means to regulate emotions means to look at the part of you that now has picked up on that emotion and is now going to go act on your behalf without your awareness. You see, so it's not anger and regulating anger that's the problem. It's the part of me that comes out to act on that anger is the problem. So we're all sitting here talking about emotional regulation. What about the part of you that comes out to act out that emotion? What about when you get frustrated? Who comes out? What part of you? What about when you get angry? What part of you comes out? What about when you get disappointed and don't get your way? What part of you doesn't come out? What critical part of you is now talking to you? What judgmental part of you is now talking to you? Maybe you're sitting out in the audience and you go, geez, Art don't got his shit together tonight, man. He got to get it together and you're judging me. That's a part of you. See, really. And why I'm getting excited is because nobody cares. Nobody cares. They come here and say, I don't get along. And the reason I don't get along is because they. And guess who's talking when you say that shit? A part of you. The part of you that blames. And I go, well, why don't you look? And you go, no, I don't want to look. They don't do that. They do that. They always do that. How are you going to get along with everyone? You got parts of you talking and you don't even know parts of you are talking. You're screwed. Nobody goes to counseling to get better. Nobody. They go to counseling to blame. That's why they go. You know, see if somebody went to counseling and they go, you know, I've been really looking at myself and I've identified all the parts of me and I'm a real problem. They wouldn't need counseling anymore. It would be over. But they go to counseling and they say, you know, my family's a real problem. They do this and they do that. They do this and they do that. Really? But see, responsibility ends all that. And responsibility means I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the parts of me that have problems with other people. I'm going to look. So everyone comes here. You want solutions? Look at yourself. Identify the parts of you. Identify these parts. See, I can't, there's a part of me that wants to blame my wife for how I treated her today. And don't believe me, I didn't like beat her or anything. But I was a little bit snarky. And I was a little bit resistant. And I was a little bit not nice. And I was a little bit blaming. And I wasn't, but a part of me was. And there's a part of me that does that. And if I don't stay aware of these emotions in my body, these parts of me to come out to act on my behalf. And when they do, it's real trouble. When they do, I have to always explain that. See, have you ever said to your loved one, you know, a part of me really, really loves you, and a part of me really, really struggles with loving you? Have you ever said something like that? Probably not. You know, maybe some people have, but for the most part, you go, you know, I don't like you because you do this or you do that or you do this or you do that. But what about that fact that we have all these parts of us that we don't know how to manage? and then we think we're going to get in a relationship with another human being and they're going to be able to manage us. You have parts of you that you don't like, but you just expect everyone to love you. I got all these parts of me that are critical and I don't like. You think, and I don't love the parts of me. I expect my wife to love every part of me? No, it don't work that way. You see, it's deeper than what we're doing here. It isn't about what he said, she said, and they said, and what they did. It's about you two actually looking in at you first and saying, listen, I'm going to merge with another company. I'm going to have to get my employees to shut up. You know, I'm going to have to actually, before I let that critical part come out and criticize my wife, I'm going to have to actually see why he's there. No, I'm not saying I get rid of parts of me. I'm saying I look and see this part of me and I be with it myself. And if I can't be with it myself, I can't expect anybody else to be with it. You see? You know, I get excited about this because everybody comes to me for counseling. They come to me for couples counseling and family counseling, but they don't lie to me. Because you don't come for that. You come for me to judge. Because if you didn't come for me to judge, you would talk about the parts of you. But nobody talks about the parts of them. They talk to me every day about what the other person does. And what is that? We're going to have solutions that way? We need a courtroom. We don't need counseling. And then you come and I'll go, you're wrong. They're right. Let's be done with it. You lose. And then what do you get? You two sisters, that's what I'm going to do. One of you's right, the other one's wrong. What you get for that? Whoever wins gets no relationship with their sister and no love for the rest of your life. There you go. You're welcome. But you're right. And I'm proud of you that you're right and they're wrong. And I'm proud of you that you proved your sister to be a wrong person and you proved their behavior to be worse than yours. I'm damn proud of you. What do you get? And I'm proud when parents come and say, I want to tell you about all the bad behavior of my kid. And I want to go on and on and on. And I'm proud when sisters and brothers won't give it up. See, the Jones family's got a couple sisters that would rather be right than be in a relationship. And that's a part of them. You see? And that part of them is winning out over all the other parts of them. That part of them that loves John, this one's too dominant. It said, don't love him, don't love him. That part of him that said we should forgive, no, it gets squashed out by that part. You see, but I can't get those two sisters in front of me to say, hey, why don't you look at the parts of you that are doing that? They're a big problem, and it's not John. Because what you get by letting this part win is no relationship with your loved one ever for the rest of time, and I hope you're happy. You see, there's only one thing I can do to get along with my wife better. One, I can't go to counseling and tell the therapist how bad she behaves. It won't help. I can't make a list of all the ways that she needs to change so that I'm happier. Not going to help. What I have to do is I have to look at the parts of me that are struggling. And I have to learn to love those parts of me first before I'm going to be able to love my wife. You know, there's a real reason why people have a nice 2-month relationship and then it's all downhill from there. You know, you all came here tonight. What part did you come here with tonight? You came here with the part that wants to look good. That's the part you came with. There was a part of you and it drove here that said, look good tonight. Be cool. Don't say anything stupid. Don't actually ask questions and shit. Don't raise your hand. Don't get involved or I'll smash you. That's what you came with. Maybe other people came with other part. Maybe some of the guys in the program came. I hope Ashley's here. Hope she's wearing them shorts again. Maybe you came with that. Maybe you came with that part. But if you don't know what part you're currently running with, you've become the part. Think of that. Awareness. What are you now? What am I? I am this receiver. That's all I am. Okay? I am what's called the receiver of my parts. There's all these different voices. There's all these different things going on here. And all I get to do is kind of sit here and hear from them. To be a good leader means you receive information from your team. And you validate your team members. So as a leader of you would then sit there with yourself and receive information from your team. You would receive information from the critical part of you, from the cool part of you, from the disappointed part of you, from the blaming part of you, and you would say, hey guys, let's all chill out. Let's take a breath. All of you were fine. I won't be needing you today. I don't need you to blame today, but thank you because you helped protect me. I don't need judgment today, but thank you because judgment's sometimes important. From walking down the street, I need to know who to stay away from. Thank you, critical guy of me, but today I need the day off. I'm watching football. I've done enough, but thanks for being there for me because you keep me going and you keep me driven. And we look at these parts of ourselves and our job has now changed. Our job now as a family member is to get right with our internal family and lead our parts. It's to say, let me first lead me before I try to relate to you. Before I merge with another company, I better get my own employees in line so they're not just yelling shit at the window at the other company. So there's some type of hierarchy in how I conduct myself and how I find in here which part of me loves you. You know, we all say this, unconditional love. Which fucking part's doing it right now? When have you heard from the unconditional love part with your family member lately? Probably not. Oh, I love my sister and my kid unconditionally. When? Well, it's just a theory I have. I don't feel love at all. I feel the other parts. I feel the angry part. I feel the blaming part. I feel the disappointed part. I feel the critical part. When's the love part talk to you? Well, very rarely. But I love my family member unconditionally. I don't see the love. You see, if we're in love, then the love part's talking. The part of us that loves, you know, like the part of you that loves ice cream. When you go to your favorite meal, when you go to your favorite snack, the part of you that loves comes out. And you know what it says? It says, damn, I love this shit. Now, when does it say it about your sister? When does it say about your mother? When does it say about your family member? When's that part coming out? You see, we have a real problem here. No one told us that there was different parts of us. We just thought we were one thing here. But the reality is we're 11 different things with 11 different things going on. And at the same, we can simultaneously hate and love at the same time. We can simultaneously be proud of ourselves and immensely disappointed in ourselves. We can simultaneously be frustrated and superior. You see? Until we begin to go, you know what? This connection thing is true. What he's saying, it's a big deal. And this love thing's a big deal. And I really got to get it straight why I'm not feeling those things. And so for me, after all these years of a mindfulness practice, of meditation, spirituality. What part of you wants to be more spiritual? The part of you that wants to look cool. You get that part later. Oh, I'm going to be more spiritual. What's saying that? How about this? How about what you do is you do your job. And what your job to do is actually to be aware of these parts. And by the way, that doesn't fix it. Even though I'm aware of these parts of myself, they're like a dog getting off the leash all day. And I have to apologize for that. Now, the difference is that when a part of you gets out and conducts itself in a manner that you don't want it to conduct yourself, You don't have to, you can excuse it. You see? Like I can say to my wife, I'm sorry. A part of me that I don't like got out today and treated you that way. I don't have to defend it. I don't have to say, you shouldn't have made me treat you that way. You see? Because these are just parts of me. It's not me. That doesn't mean I don't take responsibility for it. This is the way you do take responsibility for it. You say, you know, I have this part of me that I don't even like, that's very critical of me, and it came out and it got very critical of you. Okay. And I'm sorry because I lost the awareness of it and it gets off the leash sometimes. And I have a part of me that is sarcastic with you, a part of me that is blaming of you. So what are we here for, really, if it ain't to practice governing ourselves? If it ain't to practice being a government to our own parts and relating to our own parts so that we can lighten the load and the bumps on other people. So that we then, and if it ain't learning the parts of your wife or learning the parts of your loved one, you know what's nasty? That we do know the parts of our loved one. And you know what we do instead of like easing those parts? We criticize those parts and we fight back. There's the nasty part. When we see our family member getting upset, we get upset and fight back and tell them they shouldn't be upset. There's never generally a part of us that goes, oh, you're upset. I'm very sorry. A part of me came out and did that. Instead, it's like, you don't deserve to be upset. I didn't do anything wrong. What part of you is doing that? You know, when we really start looking at the parts of us that come out to play, you change and make, you know, I always said it, the number one way we could change human beings, we would just take a video camera, a little GoPro, and we would put it on people at the beginning of the day. And we'd say, now go interact all day with all your friends and family. And at the end of the day, the first day, we'd put it on nationwide news. And you'd be embarrassed. Or you would just shut up all day. And you'd begin to change every day from that point on. Because you couldn't contain yourself and shut up all day for weeks on end. And you'd embarrass yourself every time parts of you came out. You would recognize those parts of you and say, I don't like that part of me that just came out. I got to start watching that guy. And there would be immense change in our way we treated each other as a family. You know, everybody that comes to me is innocent. They all got a part of the innocent part of them. You should see it. It's the same little part of them. It comes out in everybody. It's just, I don't, why are they upset? I don't know. I don't know what upset them. I don't know. It's the same person. I see it over and over. Hey, why does your brother not like you? I don't know. Why did he punch you in the mouth? I didn't, oh, I didn't do anything. Why are you in an interaction out of your car and there's road rage? I don't know. Oh, you didn't do that. This is tough. Nobody likes this one. You know, really. See, you're not thinking, the parts of you are. Right now, there's a part of you talking to you. Look at it. Be aware of it. It's not you. But we sit here, we get in our position. Today, I try to practice IFS now. I'm really into it lately. I've reinvigorated my practice. I've been really screwing up. And it's harder than it used to be. I don't know if it's age, health, tired. I used to have this mindfulness practice where I could just like be present all day and really be pretty non up and down, pretty even keel. I'm a mess. I'm a complete mess. She knows it. She's laughing. I'm a mess. Parts just spewing out of me, saying shit I shouldn't say, being an asshole. I'm tired. I think it's a little bit tired and a little less healthy. And when we're tired and a little less healthy, the parts of us are a little more grumpy. They're a little more nitpicky. You know? It's tough. But it's tough getting along with people. It's tough connecting. But let's at least say the reason why. It's the parts of us that we don't like. It's the parts when you're driving away from that interaction with your family member and going, God, I wish I wouldn't have done that. God, I wish I could just get along with them. It's the part of us that says, geez, I want to love my family members so bad, but it's tough. I have a part of me right now that I've been a father for 5 months. I have a part of me that is so disappointed me as a father already. Don't you guys have parts like this? 5 months I've been on the job, and all day this guy says, geez, you're not doing good enough. You're really a shitty father. And that ain't to tell you to feel sorry for me. There's another part of me that goes, fuck you. But this is what's happening inside of us, and we think we're going to relate to people? And all these kids just jump. I love her. How long you been together? A week. I just love the famous Facebook soulmate pictures. You just know a week later that shit's over. No one that's ever stayed together has posted that this is my soulmate. Anyone married 50 years knows, don't do that shit. That ain't your soulmate. They just know how to not irritate certain parts of you for a little duration of time, and you like having sex right now. But that'll end because they'll start irritating those parts of you because you can't even live with those parts of you. So they're not going to be able to live with those parts of you. And you're not going to want to have sex so much pretty soon. Then good luck with your new roommate. Got yourself a roommate, didn't you? You know? Looking for separate beds. Yeah. I know. But you think it's them. And it ain't. It's the part of you. You know, I got a real tough job ahead. In actuality, to be a good father, I got a real tough job ahead. I figured. And that job is to not let my parts raise my son. That job is to keep my parts and let me keep my parts in line so they don't get off the leash and raise my son. But if I let these critical parts and disappointed parts and angry parts get through my system and leave my management style and get around me and go try to relate to my son, I'm going to hurt that boy. Because my parts are dangerous. I didn't know that getting sober, this is what it meant. I didn't know that this is what connection means. This being human thing. I always think to myself, I wonder what I would tell the humans, you know? If I'm leaving, I wonder what I'm going to tell the humans. And this is what I would tell them. You don't know yourself. If you can't identify 10 parts of yourself, then you're not doing the work. You see, your loved ones know exactly how to hit what part of you to upset you. But you don't know that that part's even going to get upset. So I can have any of these kids call their parents in this program, and I can say to the kids, I want you to call your parents and piss them off in 5 minutes. And they know exactly what part of you to attack. So do you know what part it is? Are you looking? Are you aware? And if they attack that part, can you be with that part and not let it out? If they attack that part of you, can you look at that part and say, calm down, little guy? You don't need to come out right now. I got it. Or are you going to let that part yell back at them? Are you going to let that part get in a fight? Are you going to let that part buttons get pushed? See, I want my son to know growing up there ain't no goddamn way he can piss his old man off. Ain't nothing that little guy can do. Now, he might hit a part of me, and a part of me might get pissed off. But I got to be able to be with that part and go, dude, chill out. I can't let that part come out and start fighting my son. I'm bigger than him. He's not for long enough. You know, there's a part of you that wants to get high, right, Jasper? There's a part of you that wants to get high and a part of you that don't, right? And you can't be mad at that part of you that wants to get high, because what does it want? It wants relief, bro. You know what the part of you that wants to get high wants? What do you think it wants? You see, you know yourself. You got to answer this question. What does the part of you that wants drugs want? Not what? Well, what makes it uncomfortable? The other parts of you. You see? What that thing wants inside of you guys that wants to get high. The part of you that wants to get high wants the other parts of you to shut up. Now you got to know that. If you have a chance at actually not using drugs, you got to know that there's a part of you that wants to shut up the other parts of you. And that when you use drugs, all the other part, everything shuts up. And it doesn't start up again until you wake up from using drugs. And then as soon as you wake up again, all the parts start talking. Shouldn't have done that, dipshit. Now you're big trouble. God, you're going to end up in treatment again. Then you got to say to them, where were you yesterday? I was driving down the hill over here by Kent Meridian High School. Got in a road rage incident, right? Well, me and three buddies were in high school, and then there was this 40-year-old man, and we were road raging back and forth, and we got down to the bottom of the hill. There was a part of me that said, get out and go punch that dude as hard as you can. And I was in the truck, and I thought that was me talking. I didn't know it was a part of me. So I got out of the truck, and I ran over, and I punched that dude as hard as I could. And then he looked at me, and then another part of me went, oh, shit. And then all of me got my ass beat. Now, where was this oh shit when I needed it? You see? So really to know yourself means to know your parts, to know what you're not. You're not your parts. To understand this. I'm telling you, and the reason I'm so emphatic tonight is because it's murderous. It's excruciating, taking the responsibility of your parts. It almost never feels good to have to apologize to people for saying rude things, for having to acknowledge little sarcastic remarks, to have to acknowledge things that you do and feel bad for because you're really in tune with that's you. To acknowledge that you're not happy that all the time being in here because of the war that's going on between your parts. Because there's not harmony in here all the time. Your parts aren't just raving about your leadership skills. They're knocking you. They're never letting you rest. They're never making you feel good about yourself. Generally, our parts aren't in here just singing our praises all day. They're saying our bodies aren't good enough. They're saying we're not skinny enough. They're saying we're not healthy enough. They're saying we don't have enough money. They're saying we're a disappointment. That's what they're saying. And then sometimes they say good things, but rarely. And that's a tough way to go about life. And so to actually come to this conclusion of what the real struggle is, and the struggle being now between me and my parts, me and the little child that was hurt when I was 9 that comes out, and goes, wah, when I'm not getting my way. Me and the little boy that doesn't get enough attention from my wife and comes out to tell me I'm getting screwed by my 5-month-old son. That little guy inside me. And I have to negotiate with that little guy throughout the day. Today, literally, she's out there with the babysitter and the nanny and her, and they're laughing at little Art, and little Art's laughing, and I can hear it all. And there's a part of me that was going, what about you? Wow, you're really getting screwed by this kid. What about the attention for you? Where's dinner? Maybe this stuff doesn't happen for you. You guys are all you guys all got the good. Yeah. I got to give you a piece of me. This is what goes on. It's truthful. But these are parts of me. It's not me. I'm the thing that witnesses the parts of me. So I can tell it to you like it's not me. And when you get that square, you can start talking about the parts of you in a way that's open and honest. But I'm square that these are parts of me and they're not me. And I don't need to take credit for them. All I have to do is watch them. So I can say all the time, God, there's a part of me that when a family calls, I go, Jesus Christ, what's the problem with these people? But that's not me saying that. That's a part of me. Luckily, there's another part that says, Art, you should have some gratitude and you should love these people. And it's an honor that you get to be part of their family. But I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that doesn't exist. It does. There's a grateful part of me and there's a hateful part of me. And I have to talk to all of them. And I have to lead them. Because if I don't lead them, there's a depressed part of me. But if I don't talk to the depressed part of me and tell them we got to do something about it, guess what? I'll become depressed. See, I'm not the depressed part of me. I'm the part that notices there's some depression. So if somebody says I'm depressed, that just means that they've become a part of themselves. If somebody says I'm angry, that means that they've become a part of themselves and have lost who they really are. I'm a witness to my own anger. It's there. It's a part of me, but it's not me. So I can't become angry. I can't be angry. I can witness anger. But if it takes me, then it's got me, and that's all I am now. I'm just angry. And then I'm liable to do anything or say anything, and it doesn't matter if I hurt people because I was angry. Long way to say I was an infant. So for me, I want you to all be in the same turmoil that I'm in. And when you really start looking at it, there's a turmoil here. If you ignore it and just say that the answer is more stuff, the answer is to play the game of life and go out and do it like it's really real and not look at your parts, but soothe those parts and just let them all kind of run you like a robot, well, then that's that. But there's a different level of depth when you start looking at what this game of life is really about, what being human is really about. It's understand that life's given us these parts and they're all great. And that critical part of me is a great little guy because he drives the hell out of me. Makes me survive. And that little blaming part of me, what a little champion for me. This little blaming part of me, dude thinks nothing's my fault, man. He's awesome. Dude can figure out why everyone's screwing me over all the time. He's like the president of my fan club. So when that dude's blaming, I can just look at him and go, dude, I got you, man, but I got to own this one. You know, it's like that. And then the guy that says, great, be grateful, think of that dude. He's just like a guy that works for me that's like, we're doing great, Art. He's giving me high fives. And I have all these little parts of me. And then there's a part of me, it's like, your wife's not doing enough, dude. You're getting screwed. Well, and I'm like, dude, have you met her? And I'm talking to these parts all day, and it's like a big acid trip, dude. You should do it. It's awesome. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You lose total awareness, and one of the parts just goes out and starts working on your behalf. And you come back like a half hour, and it's like, dude, what did you do? Well, I told your wife to fuck off. And what? Where were you? I'm not gonna have sex for weeks. Yeah, like one of my little guys came out today on my behalf, spoke to my wife. No sex time. It's like that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm watching you fuckers a little closer. There it is. All right. Comments, questions. I was driven. There it is. I didn't know anything about myself, and I was out there getting high. For you, those of you that are trying to stay sober, there's a question that you got to ask yourself. How do I end up places? It was the number one question that I asked myself when I got sober. It was why I went on a quest for information. I was 37 years old, no friends, no family, nobody wanted me in their life, 7 years with no career, no job, 80K in debt. And there was a question that a part of me asked. How did you end up here? And so you look and you see and you study. It's taken me 14 years. And I can honestly tell you how I ended up there. I didn't have any self-leadership. I was led by my parts. Parts of me took over and I let them. Parts of me took over. They ruled out the other parts of me. They took me on journeys that ended up in jails and homelessness. And I was nowhere to be found to lead the company. And that's how you end up places. And if you don't want to end up in situations and things that you don't want to end up in, you've got to manage your parts. How do you end up failing in relationships? It's 100%. Any relationship that you're currently not having a good time in, it's your parts. Now you got to swallow that pill. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no way around them. They spark a part of you that you don't like to be with, so you don't want to be around them. But that's what happens. You're around a difficult person, a part of you starts talking to you, you don't like listening to that part of you, you don't like dealing with that part of you, so you say, I don't like them. When in reality, you don't like the part of you that talks to you when you're around them. But people just keep saying it. It's them, it's them, it's them. And they build their case. And they listen to a part of them build the case. See, they're doing it again. That's it right there. That's the problem. The thing that just said it. Well, Gotta get your shit together. My shit's not together. Oh, nothing. No, you guys all got it figured out. And by the way, the reference here is just internal family systems. Grab the book, internal family systems.
Art, I have a question.
Yes.
What is a tool that you could suggest when taking pause, when your inner teenager or your inner toddler, adolescent is taking control, just to take pause?
It
Like,
needs,
What's a good way to take pause?
because it needs leadership.
Remember that.
It needs leadership. If you don't want it to take control and an inner child is coming out, what that inner child is calling for is validation and leadership. It's coming out to have somebody tell it, I don't need you right now. It's okay, I'm glad you're here. I've always loved you, but I don't need this right now. You know, all this stuff, the self-leadership is actually just what we're doing with looking and identifying what parts of us. If you can't identify what part of you is currently talking, then you've become that part. You know, being aware of your parts is like standing on a pinhead. You'll fall off. And one will take over for a little while. But see, the thing about awareness is once you realize that you weren't aware, you're aware again. You ever drive by the exit? The moment you realize you missed the exit, there you are again. Now, where were you before that? A part of you had taken you. You see? So we're saying it's two things. It's this awareness, but it's giving this space between these parts and recognizing that they're not us. This is the truth about what a spiritual awakening is. It's saying we awaken to the fact that we've been controlled by our parts. And if we come up here and be aware of them and hear them talking to us, do you know that anything that you can identify, you're not? You see? If I can identify that this is talking to me, how can I be it? You see? So all I am is the awareness of shit. That's who I am. And I can just sit here and be aware of my parts. But if I don't stay aware that my parts are acting and they're doing things and I don't stay in this position, then guess what? I am a part. So right now there's a space between me and my part, but my part is acting. But I'm aware that it is. The part of me that wants to prove to you that you love me, the part of me that wants you to love me, that's acting on my behalf. It's saying, please understand me and love me. But I'm aware that's happening right now. Now, if another part of me came out and goes, you guys know that this is just what I do, it's my calling. And thank you for coming tonight because, you know, it just warms my heart that you really get this. Well, then that'd be another part. But in actuality, no, the real reason that I'm talking to you tonight is because there's a part of me that wants to be validated for the information that I'm giving you and wants to be known. And I know that that's happening. And the fact that I know that that part wants that allows me to stay aware of that part and allows me to stay here. And I didn't create that part, something did. So you sit here and you practice staying aware. And then you go to a meeting and one of your parts comes out and acts on your behalf. And then after the meeting, you come back to presence and awareness and go, how did he do? Or you stay aware the whole meeting, which is more beneficial. But I want you guys to understand how quickly we lose track of ourselves. So when I said staying aware that I'm aware, is like standing on a pinhead. You can't stay there very long. When the moment we stop this meeting and we all start interacting, our parts are gonna take over instantaneously. Somebody's gonna try to say some cool shit. Somebody's gonna try to say some nice shit. Everyone's gonna try to look good. Someone's gonna try to get their way. Someone's gonna try to get something. There's a kid right now. It's going to get this over with. My parents need to buy me some smokes. Matt, he's got his girlfriend here. He's like, where can we be alone? Where can we be alone? Will this guy ever shut up? See? It's like that. At least we're talking about real shit. Anyways. For me, it's the only work. My work here as a human being is to lead my parts. That's it. That's it. And guess what? Anything that says my work isn't to lead my parts is one of my parts leading. So if I said my work isn't to lead my parts, and one of my parts goes, no, your work's to go get shit done. Your work's to prove who you are. Your work's to solve something. No, that's you, dude. My work is to lead my parts. And if you want to go do that, I'm going to stay leading you while you do that so we don't act like a buffoon. But my work, who I am, is the CEO and the leader, and I fail miserably a lot. And I'm the CEO and the leader of my parts. And hopefully over time, I will get better and better at it. But I've only discovered this stuff in the last 10 years, so I'm not very good yet. Because leading my parts seems to make me kinder and more compassionate and more clear and more calm and more caring. And so that's my job. And parts of me want to go do other shit. They want to conquer the world and they want to buy more homes and they want more money and they want all that shit. But my job is to know that that's just a part of me that wants that. That's not who I am. My job is this whole kindness and love and connection thing. And I just kind of get to experience it. And if I keep my parts in that mode and I have compassion for my own parts and kindness for them, and I can be with them, then I can have that for other folks. So I have to learn to be in here first. All right. Anyone online got questions?
May at home, let us know. One thing I forgot to mention is, Rachel mentioned the auction meeting tomorrow night, but I wanted to clarify. Any of you that don't already have that information, want to be part of our auction team, shoot me a text tonight, and if you want to join us for the meeting tomorrow, it's on Zoom at 6 o'clock. We would really love to have you, even if you don't know what part you want to play in the auction, that's okay, that will come later. But anybody who wants to be involved in any way, please, join us tomorrow. We need all the fun we can get, lots of parts for the auction.
I have another job when I do things like this. It's to just make people think. That's another. So I hope this makes you think. And yeah. Sorry, baby. Hold on real quick. John, Ashley. Okay. Oh, we got some. What are you doing with these shirts over here?
So, between now and probably the end of October, we're gonna get the battlefield crew out and continue our cleanup of the green belt right here in our backyard and park at Wingfield. We saw 10,000 pounds on that slope. We'll do some outreach. If you're interested in that, grab a sticker, grab a shirt, and you can follow our event calendar, and we'll do it right here in your backyard. So yeah, sign up for that, and then, pending clearance from Art. One of my donors wants to throw us a $10,000 party on October 4th downtown at a museum for anybody that's put boots on the ground and picked up trash.
coming into our 5-year anniversary. It'll be a really fun time. We're gonna have Chris Novoselic there for marijuana, food, entertainment, NA and A type bevies. That again, it's gotta be approved through these guys, but that's October 4th. So we're excited to invite people who want to get. We have a donor who wants to spoil everyone that helped us clean up almost 2 million pounds of trash in King County. So we're gonna let this really nice person who's also a donor of ours, and we'll get him at the auction too.
Great.
So some good stuff coming up on that front. Awesome.
I want to second water on the good parts and bad parts,
Yeah,
and I know.
okay,
No, those good parts are there, the bad parts are there, we all better fight for our good parts.
yeah.
Because those bad parts will destroy you.
But let me, I'm glad you said that. Because the book after IFS is called No Bad Parts. Now listen, and this, no, I'm glad you said that because, no, I'm glad you said that. Because we don't have bad parts. Their motivation is not bad. So when we have a critical part of ourselves,
It seems like it's bad.
it seems like they're bad.
But the things that make you do will actually.
They're right, but like I said,
You wanna fight those bad parts, because they will destroy you.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, we have a guy, what you wanna do, and I gotta clarify this, because this is what the book's about. What you wanna learn to do is love the bad parts. You see, the reason that Jasper has a part of him, or any of these kids that have a part, the part of him that wants to go get high is championing for relief. You see?
You can love them, you can hate them, but you better control them.
Yeah, well, you better
They will
be
lead you
able
to
to
this.
see. You better be able to see the goodness in it. Once you see the goodness in this the idea of drugs, there's a great idea there, and a part of you that did drugs for a great reason. Doing drugs, there was a great reason you did them. You wanted relief. So there's a part of you that wanted relief for this whole system. Now you got to look at that and go, well, okay, that's good motivation. There was a thing inside of us that wanted relief. Well, we got to love that. Hating it doesn't make it go away. Understanding it and saying, hey, I hear you. I know what you want now. I hear you. You want me to do drugs, but what you really want is relief. So we're going to have to broker a deal. You see? You need to understand it. And you can't hate it and push it away. You got to say, oh, wow, let me understand this part of me that wants relief. And maybe there's a different way I can get it. Maybe I can practice this, or maybe I can talk to this person, or maybe I can go to this meeting, or maybe I could do this. But that part of you that wants to go get high is telling you something, that there is something wrong with the system. There's something unbearable about it. There's something that's making it hard to do. There's something that needs to be fixed. Maybe the other parts aren't being listened to either. You know? And maybe the other parts are speaking loud and clear, but you're avoiding listening to them, which is making it easier for this part just to want this part to all go away. So there's a real understanding in what we're doing here, and it might not mean you never use drugs again, or you don't take relief again, or you never eat a pizza again, or you don't watch porn again. It might not mean nothing like that. It might mean that it gets easier being in here, that you start understanding yourself, relating to yourself so you can relate to other people. I don't say 1 + 1 = 2 in this instance. 1 + 1 = better. Yes. I don't know if that means, if I thought this stuff meant I'd never eat pizza again and get relief, then I would tell you that. But no, I can do all this stuff and then still have a part of me wanting me to do something wrong. I can do all this work and then still have a part of me that wants to self-destruct. I've learned to listen to that part of me and self-destruct in a lot less destructive ways. You see, I can go get a pizza instead of crack cocaine. It's like that. I can talk to it and go, okay, I'm going to give you a little, okay, but we got to chill out here, bro. I can lose a part of my money at the casino and not all of it. You know, I'll give you 5 minutes, do your thing, then let's reel it in, bro. All right, thank you, guys.
Also, the litter pick and the green belt will probably do a bid that will show at the auction to get people excited about your dynamic.